Plantar fasciitis, otherwise known as heel spur, used to be known as policeman's foot because policemen would get this with their poor shoes that they had to wear. Anyway, so I want to show you how to do plantar fasciitis. If you don't know, it's pain at the front of the sole of the heel of the foot there. I'll show you. Right around here. It's worse when people get up in the morning, so right here. And that's where the fascia joins here, joins with the toes, comes down at that point there. And that's where it keeps tearing and tearing and tearing and degenerating. And why it's called heel spur, for those of you who don't know, is because it will lay down bone. Because where there's any area of stress, the body will lay down either harder skin, calluses, those sorts of things. If it's bad enough, it'll lay down bone. And that's what they found on x-rays. They'd see this sharp spur because it keeps pulling, so the body lays down, it calcifies it. And they used to chop them off. But anyway, this is how to tape for plantar fasciitis. It's a condition that's really traditionally hard to treat because you have to walk on your foot the whole time. So it's not like you can just rest it and let the thing settle down because we need to be up on our feet. So let me show you how to do this so it offloads the tissues to help with plantar fasciitis. Alright, so what you want to do, you want to stick your anchor onto the ball of the foot there. And you want to stick it on well. You see that there? So we stuck that on there, of course zero stretch. And get your tape there. Now, pull the toes up and stretch the calf. You want to really stretch that plantar fascia. So by doing that, you dorsiflex and stretch the toes up. And then I rub it on along there. Now you're going to use one 10-inch strip or so and two smaller strips. So we're going to put two decompression ones on here for the pain. So you just rub that on, get that done nice and tight. Not tight, nice and adhesed. So you see that, so just make sure you dorsiflex the foot and also stretch the toes up towards the head as well to stretch that fascia. So we're going to come from the outside of the foot again. Okay, we're from the outside of the foot. So we're on top of the foot there, putting our anchor, and then we're going to bring that around 80 to 90% to decompress. So we see that. So we're helping lift up that arch through there in a way. So that's right over the site there. And we're going to support that. So get another anchor, and you're going to go slightly, just next to it. So once again, get that anchor on the top of the foot there. And take your tape off, and again 80 to 90%, so full strength. And then back it back a little bit, there we go, and stick that down. And there's your anchor, zero stretch. Alright, so rub them on, get them all nice and stuck. It's especially important for this because they're in the shoes and they can unstick. So there you are. That is how you do it for plantar fasciitis. See that stuck around the other side there. Alright, so now I want to show you a different type of plantar fasciitis taping. Now, so what you're going to need are two of these, just like the other one. We're going to wrap them up around the arch to give support. Now, this one is very much like the carpal tunnel one where we put the little diamonds in it, so little triangles. So cut off around about 10 inch, depending on the size of your client. Alright, so we'll cut that off. We're going to round off the edges. Okay. Alright, as we always do. Alright, so there we go. There's our large strips. We've got this one, and for a stabilizer, and two to decompress. Got it. Now, this one we're going to do it. Now, this is especially important if you've got someone, maybe it's an athlete, their feet are getting sweaty, or just someone that says, the tape's not sticking. So we're going to do something a little bit tricky. So, alright, so get about 1.5 inches or so up there like that, and then what we're going to do, just like the second carpal tunnel one, we're going to cut in a couple of triangles, because these, there you go, 1, 2, alright, a couple of triangles, which gives us a couple of diamonds. There we go. Alright, so now we're set. So now I'll show you. Now these are going to, if you haven't already guessed this, are going to go through the second and third toes, just like the other ones in carpal tunnel went through the fingers. So I'll show you exactly how we do this, and this is another option for you with plantar fasciitis. So here we go. Okay, you got your fancy piece of tape with the little diamonds cut out there. Now you break them at those midpoints there. You see, just break the paper off, and you're going to slide them over the second and third toes. Now obviously this is difficult with a very ticklish 11-year-old, but I'm going to do it. So you're going to slide them down a little bit carefully. They might get a bit stuck. You're just going to pull them right down to the base of the toes there. And then you pull off the tape to get your anchor. So you see that. So you just pull off the backing tape. So you can see that this is going to make it a lot more sturdy for people. It's not going to come off so easily as the other way we did it. Okay, put your anchor down, zero stretch of course. And then just make sure you've got the tape pulled down nice and firm between those toes. Pull off the backing. Now of course remember you've got to flex the toes and dorsiflex the foot as well. So point the toes towards your head if you like. If that's what you don't understand what dorsiflexion is. And there we go. So you just gentle stretch, lock it down like that. You see it's all on a stretch there. And then anchor it up along the heel, along to the Achilles tendon there. So there you go. Alright, so we're doing that, and now we're going to offload the tissues with the two little green ones that we've got. So the same as we did before, pop it onto the outside of the foot, on the top of the foot on the outside. You see that? So it gets a good firm hold, anchor it on there, and then 90% stretch. So bring it up to full, back it off a touch, right over the point of pain there. So this is the same as the other one. Lock it off with the anchor and do a second one there, so you get good support through the arch there. So this is really pulling up that arch there, and of course offloading the tissues. So see that? Just pull that 90%, drop it up there, and there you go. Get your anchor, away you go. And that is it. So that's a much more stable for someone to say. If it's coming off and someone they sweat a lot, they're a sports person, that's a better way to do it if it's necessary for you. All right, so I want to show you how to treat someone with plantar fasciitis. We're going to do a home exercise. So you get a tennis ball. Now this, by the way, if you don't have plantar fasciitis, feels fantastic. You can use a tennis ball or a golf ball. But see what I'm doing? I'm getting the tennis ball to roll laterally, well, from lateral to medial, so the outside to the inside of the foot. And you'll work your way down towards the heel. Now, you can keep the weight onto your heel and just apply the pressure, and you can work up to just putting your whole body weight onto your foot, as you go. So you're going to go across and now longitudinally from heels to toes. So this is going to really loosen up that fascia. It's a really, really fabulous way to... Now, by the way, I'm sorry to have to show you my ugly old feet, but hey, I've got to do this for my craft. So, my apologies. I hope you're not eating. Anyway, I had to do it. So, anyway, you see there, we're going to work that. This is a fabulous thing. Get them to do it 3 to 4 times a day, as long as they don't stir anything up. Then they back it off if they find they're a bit too sore. But this would be a great treatment between your cupping treatments. It's a home exercise.